Thank you all for being here this morning, joining the Honorable Eddie Bernice Johnson in celebration of Mr. Hafiz Khan, as we salute him for the historical purchase of the Pakistani embassy. While it is widely recognized that Mr. Khan will have a tremendous hand in the revitalization of one of Washington, D.C.'s prominent historic areas, it is also not lost upon us that Mr. Khan has taken on a great responsibility that only someone of his character and integrity would have the fortitude and the foresight to do. And that is to continue to preserve and honor the rich culture of the Pakistani people right here on American soil. Friends, that is not only the history of Pakistan, but also history right here in America. And for that, Mr. Khan, we thank you. Will you all please help me welcome here with us the Pakistan Ambassador to the United States, Masad Khan. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It's early in the morning, and I am grateful to you, to all of you, for being here. It's a good morning, and it's an important day for Pakistan and for the United States. We are honored with the presence of 3 distinguished congressmen or congresspersons, or 2 congresswomen and 1 congressman. Eddie Bernice, Greg Meeks, and the friend I met just now, Jasmine Crockett. All of you, I welcome you. In particular, I welcome Mr. Hafiz Khan, Abdul Hafiz Khan. And today we will hand over this property to Mr. Hafiz Khan. And I just want to walk you through this journey very briefly. This property has been with Pakistan for decades, but it's not the only property that we have in Washington, D.C. We have about 5 properties, or 5 or 4 properties, but this is one of the most important properties because it used to house, until early 2000s, our defense wing, our trade wing, our education wing. And this is located near our next property, which used to be our chancery at Massachusetts Avenue. So we have lots of memories associated with this building. So we are slightly sentimental when we hand it over to the new owner, but we feel pleasure in transferring this property to Mr. Hafiz Khan. We're also really pleased that this property has been bought by a Pakistani American.
Good morning. I am delighted to see all of you this morning and recognizing that this is really a very challenging time for the legislative schedule, therefore for the city. As the Congress dominates the interest of this city. And as I've said many times, I can get this entire area in the District 30 at home, but it's a very different area. This, of course, is our most important municipality in this nation. And I'm delighted that all of you have come this morning. I want to point out a few people that I involved in the leadership of this. Number one, I want to thank Jane Hamilton, who has been my guiding light in helping us pull this together, and Greg Meeks, who is the immediate past chair and will soon be chair again of the Foreign Affairs Committee. We have been friends since he came to Congress. And Mr. Butterfield, who, a former chief Supreme Court Justice for the state of North Carolina, that I had the pleasure also not only to campaign for, but to serve with him in the Congress. Thank you very much for coming, and thanks to all of you who have come this morning. I want you to get to know, those of you that don't know him, one of my dearest friends, and the reason I'm standing here this morning. Mr. Khan and I met a number of years ago. As a matter of fact, his family was a young family then. But he's accompanied today by his daughter, who is a physician, who is married to a physician. I had the pleasure of attending their wedding, which was something I'd never seen before. He also has a daughter who is a dentist and a son who is an engineer, and that's the only one that's joining him in business. And so when you see him, you're going to see his son. But the most important of all of that, who pulls them all together, is Mrs. Khan. Mrs. Khan is a superb hostess. I have met so many Pakistani elected officials from Pakistan at their home over the years. And I have the magnificent pleasure of going to what I call their Dubai mansion in Dallas. And so they are dear friends of mine, and I'm just so delighted to be able to join them here this morning and to see how this wonderful family has come along from young people to the successes of which they are today. The youngest one is still in college at Southern Methodist University. I don't know what she's going to choose, but the son, who is an engineer, has chosen to be a businessman. He has a superb example to follow. Mr. Khan has such respect and devotion to Pakistan as well as to the United States. He's been here over 20 years, probably around 30, because I've known him close to that time. And for him to step up and buy a piece of property that he had never seen before, and if you ask him right now what he's going to do with it, he can't give you a straight answer. But that tells me one thing: his devotion for giving that piece of property the respect it deserves, and the role that that piece of property has served in this country for the country of Pakistan. So I stand here with pride to introduce to you an American citizen who has really offered so much to this country in his business leadership and his investment in his family to make sure that they are going to be people who will add to the culture and to the talent of this nation. He was joined this morning by his physician daughter and her physician husband. Seemed like just 2 or 3 years ago I saw them get married, but they're living in San Francisco now, is that right? Left Texas. Now, who leaves Texas? But they're right here to support their father this morning, and I'm delighted that they're here. So first, I want to give a hand to Mrs. Khan for being the leader of the household that she is, the support for her husband and for her family. Always quiet, always proper, always very American Pakistani. Thank you for joining your husband this morning and watching him spend all this money. Got to keep a handle on him. But I want you to meet the man who was willing and able and proud to stand with his native land that's partnershiping with his new land. When I say new, he's been here a long time, and he has no hesitancy in being a very good American citizen. I'm going to present to you now Mr. Khan, who has made the purchase of the former embassy for the country of Pakistan. And he's going to tell you all about what he's going to do with that property. And the reason I say he's going to tell you, because he hadn't been able to tell me. But thank you for coming. I also want to acknowledge that the Chief of Staff for the Science Committee, which is a big deal on the Hill, joined us this morning. Dr. Overman, thank you very much for coming in. He's retired from the Hill now. He didn't want to work for any other boss. I said that because he decided not to. He decided to retire from the Hill at the time of which I did. But thanks also to other members of that committee, the committee that produced that bill that is now called the CHIPS bill, which will guide our future, not only in defense, but artificial intelligence, space exploration, and whatever you can think of that chip has come to be. I'm proud to be from the city where the chip was developed with Texas Instruments. And I'm proud to be from the state where the Johnson Space Center is located. And I won't get on that because I'll be up here all day talking. But thanks to all of you who have had a little bit to work with me in that area for being here, which is the guiding committee for the future, not only of this nation, for the world. And I want to present to you a world leader who now can claim both Pakistan and the United States as his home, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, Honorable Congresswoman, for inviting me. Greetings and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank to the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shahbaz Sharif, and his cabinet for approving the sale of a former Pakistani embassy here in Washington, D.C. As you all know, that this is a historical building and also is located in a very posh area of the capital. This building was built in 1907. Actually, it's not only historical, but also it has some significant values to it. This building was the primary residence of the two great Americans who had lived here before the Pakistan government purchased this asset. The first was Mr. Gardner William, who was the first appointed mining engineer to South Africa, and later on, he wrote a very famous book called Diamonds Mines of South Africa. And the second person was the Secretary of Treasury of the United States, Mr. Henry Morgenthau, also had lived in this house. So 1947, when Pakistan came into existence, I believe that's the first property purchased by the government, and they used this building as an embassy here. So this building as an embassy, I think worked more than 50 years and served the Pakistani community. So working for a long span of time with the Pakistani community and for the Pakistani community, it got a lot of Pakistani sentimental values attached to this building. So when I heard that the government has decided to dispose that asset, and also I heard some other nationals from other countries were also interested in purchasing it. So the first thing came to my mind that I wanted to have some American Pakistani from this country should move forward and purchase this asset. So I went ahead. I made the highest offer at that time, and I'm thankful to the government of Pakistan that they had accepted my offer. And I want to congratulate each and every Pakistani across the world, and especially in Pakistan, that now this property belongs to American Pakistani from this country, not to any other national from another country. So there's a list of the people I would like to thank. First of all, I would like to thank the Ambassador of Pakistan, Mr. Sardar Masood Ahmad Khan, for making this transaction very smooth, transparent, and timely. And also, I would like to thank to my family, who has been very supportive to me towards purchasing this asset here in Washington, D.C. And also, I would like to thank the Honorable Congresswoman Eddie Johnson, who has been a long-time friend, and she came all the way from Dallas to celebrate this event with us. She's such a great person, very humble, and hardworking politician. She worked in the Congress for more than 30 years. Her contribution towards making this country great will always be remembered. Thank you so very much for coming. And also, I would like to thank all the members of the Congress who are here, and the representative from the local government, and all the dignitaries for taking your time out today and giving us the honor to celebrate this event together. Also, I would like to thank to the media. I know without media, I would not be able to know if this property was for sale or not. So, especially I would like to thank to the Pakistani network, Geo Network, Airway, Bowl, and all the other ones for working very hard for the Pakistani community. And also, again, at the end, I would like to thank again everyone for coming, for joining us on this event and making another part of the history. God bless America. God bless Pakistan. Thank you.
Eddie Bernice Johnson retired this year from Congress after 30 years of service, and have known Mr. Khan quite a bit of that 30 years. I'm impressed with his leadership, his devotion to country and family, and very proud that he stepped up and decided that he had the money to purchase this property, and he's going to make sure that it'll be a piece of property of pride for the country of Pakistan and for the country of the United States of America.
My name is Stephen DuPont. I am the past architect of this building, and hopefully we'll work on it again to bring it back for Mr. Khan, whatever he intends and figures out what he wants to do with it.
Any idea how much money funds are required to rebuild the whole?
To rebuild it? It's about 15 or 17,000 square feet, and you can bet at least $250 a square foot more, probably.
How long will it take to complete the whole renovation?
Oh, we just got to get a permit first. That'll take about a decade. No. Permit, you can figure out what to do with the building, then design it, get the permit, probably a year and a half or something like that. And then construction will take a couple of years because it's tricky and it's in bad shape structurally due to the water getting in. And it's such an incredible location that it's going to be a big fancy job for whatever purpose it is dedicated to.
मुझे द इंफॉर्मेशन दैट आई गॉट फ्रॉम मिस्टर दुबीर दैट ये पाकिस्तानी प्रॉपर्टी जो एम्बेसी ओन करती थी वो फॉर सेल है. तो द इंफॉर्मेशन आई गॉट फ्रॉम दुबीर इज़ द गाय दैट हु पुट मी इन ट्रबल एक्चुअली, यू नो.
मैं हफीज़ साहब को ऑलमोस्ट 20 ईयर से जानता हूँ. हमारी एक बड़ी पुरानी रफ़ाकत है, दोस्ती है. एंड ही इज़ काइंड इनफ ऑलवेज. व्हेनेवर आई हैव समथिंग इन माइंड, तो मुझे अगर किसी का पहला ख्याल आता है तो वो हफीज़ साहब का आता है. तो जब ये प्रॉपर्टी अप फॉर सेल थी, पता चला मुझे थ्रू अ टेलीविज़न चैनल, तो मैंने इनको कॉल किया और मैंने कहा कि ये एक कल्चरल हेरिटेज को, एक डिप्लोमेटिक लेगेसी को और पाकिस्तान की जो वैल्यूज़ हैं जो इस जगह के साथ बंधी हुई हैं, मुझे उसका मेरे जहन में है. और मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि ये कहीं किसी और नेशनल के पास किसी ये प्रॉपर्टी जो है वो सेल ना हो. तो आप इसको बाय कर रहे हैं. तो आई एनफोर्स्ड हिम एक्चुअली. तो थैंक यू सो हिम कि उन्होंने ऑलवेज उन्होंने मेरी लाज रखी और उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं बिल्कुल ये हम करते हैं. एंड देन वी जंप्ड इन.